Today we are about to dive into a story of a man called Gilles de Rais. Gilles de Rais was born in 1405 in western France, into one of the wealthiest noble families in Brittany. His full name was Gilles de Montmorency-Laval. When he was around 11 years old, both of his parents died. He and his brother were raised by their grandfather, who reportedly spoiled him and allowed him a lot of freedom and luxury. As a teenager, Gilles inherited enormous wealth, castles, lands, and military power. He was one of the richest men in France. During the 100 Years' War between France and England, Gilles became a military commander. He fought bravely and gained a reputation for courage. Most importantly, he became a close companion and supporter of Joan of Arc. He fought beside her during major battles, including the Siege of Orleans. Because of his military success, King Charles VII made him Marshal of France at just 24 years old, one of the highest military titles in the country. At this point, Gilles was considered a national hero. In 1431, Joan of Arc was captured and executed by the English. After her death, something changed in Gilles. He gradually withdrew from military life. He began spending enormous amounts of money on lavish theatrical performances, religious ceremonies, luxury and extravagance, alchemy and occult experiments. He burned through his fortune at an alarming rate. His family tried to stop him from selling off land because he was ruining himself financially. This is where the story turns dark. Gilles was later accused of luring young boys, usually from poor families, to his castles with promises of work or opportunity. According to court records, he kidnapped children, tortured them, sexually assaulted them, murdered them. Estimates of victims range from 80 to over 200 children. Witnesses during his trial, including servants, testified in detail about horrific acts. In 1440, Gilles was arrested after a dispute with a church official brought attention to him. He was tried by both civil and church courts in Nantes. He was charged with heresy, sodomy, murder, devil worship. Under threat of torture, Gilles confessed to the crimes. Some historians argue his confession may have been forced or exaggerated. Others believe the evidence and testimonies were overwhelming. Gilles de Rais was sentenced to death. He was hanged and then his body was burned. He was 35 years old. Before his execution, he reportedly showed remorse and asked forgiveness from God and the families of the victims. Many historians consider him one of the first documented serial killers in European history. The testimonies were detailed, and multiple witnesses described similar crimes. Some modern writers argue he had powerful enemies. The church and crown may have wanted his wealth. Confessions during that era were often forced. No physical bodies were ever produced as evidence. However, most mainstream historians believe he was guilty. Gilles de